Hi, everybody, and welcome to MMO Weekly Roundup. In this week's episode, we're going to talk about Absolute Force Online, League of Legends, Star Conflict, and Dragon's Prophet. And now, your host, a man that doesn't believe in electricity and thinks The Lord of the Rings is a documentary.
What does that even mean? Anyways, I'm your host, Kelsendale, and today we're going to start off the shooter section of MMO Weekly with a game that I actually have a lot of fun playing, which is Absolute Force Online.
One of the things I find really great about Absolute Force Online is the fact that there's so much customization that you can do without having to go into a lot of money. Um, you can pick so many different things with the hair and the body features. The female have even more that you can choose from, and it's not just the same three hairstyles over and over again. There's actual things that you can do without spending a lot of money, and a lot of games are missing that. But I think there's a lot of people heading in the right direction in that respect. Moving forward in this game, there's also quite a bit of game modes that you can choose from. Um, of one of the game modes that you can choose from, there is a zombie mode, but uh, don't let the zombie mode fool you. It is not like zombies for Black Ops or anything like that. It's actually a game where you pick a person, you run around shooting things, and then you get turned into a zombie. The load screen for your characters looks really cool. You get to check out what your team's going to look like and see how pimped and decked out they are. And the zombie mode is really lacking. There's just so much that they could have done with this, and honestly, it's okay. But for me, zombie mode is not going to be something that I'm gonna play. And there are a lot of people that are in it, surprisingly, because to me it's not very good of a build for the game. Forward though with the rest of the game, as a third person shooter, it's actually a lot of fun, a lot of action, a lot of shooting, a lot of running around. Some of the maps are small, but not nearly as small as Arctic Combat, so there's a lot of opportunity to get to run around and to live a little bit longer. But there are campers, and that's just going to be the dirge of first-person shooters or shooters in general, is that there are going to be campers, and it's just going to have to be something that you're going to either have to start camping or just learn to deal with it and take them out as soon as possible. Uh, for this game and the content and the unique gameplay that you get, um, it really isn't that spectacular. Although I do enjoy the customization, it's not enough for me to say, or even 4 stars for that matter. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a 3.5 out of 5.
Despite the fact that it's actually not a first-person shooter but a third-person shooter, it's still a fun game. There's not nearly as much camping, and I think it has a lot of promise. Now, the game is still in closed beta, but Absolute Force is definitely one that you should check out. Nothing unique there. Moving forward, however, is something that is quite unique to the genre of RPG, and that's Dragon's Prophet.
You call a game Dragon's Prophet, and the first thing that you expect is the ability to capture dragons. Dragon's Prophet does not leave you wanting when it comes to capturing and training dragons. One of the unique things about this game is that your dragons have multiple jobs that they can do. They're not just mounts, or they're not just support. They're both mount support, as well as they also have abilities that you personally can borrow from them and put on your character so that you can activate them. And then on top of that, when say you're resting or you went to bed or you just plan on playing for 16 hours, like I do, you have the opportunity to send your dragon out and they can go collect materials for you so that you can do crafting. And crafting's actually a pretty decent part of this game, on top of just going out and catching and doing your questing and so forth. Crafting not only allows you to make armor for you, weapons, necklaces, and so forth, you can also make armor for your dragon, and also do wood crafting, and the thing with the wood crafting that's really unique in my mind is that you can create furniture and things for houses that you can buy later. This is considered kind of a sandbox game, but not necessarily. I wouldn't go as far as calling it a sandbox, because it's definitely just a straight up RPG that happens to have sandbox elements in it. But it is a pretty fun game, and I mean, there's quests everywhere. There's 3 separate islands, and I'm not sure how the housing district is going to work on this game, but what I do know about it is that it it is open. There are monsters that are going to be next to your house, or dragons, and you have the opportunity to catching. Other than that, the thing that is the biggest downer for me in this game, however, and is the reason why I refuse to give it 5 stars, and if they fix it, I would be more than happy to give them 5 stars. And the problem is that they have no y-axis attack. You can attack straight ahead of you, but if your enemy decides to hop on a dragon and start flying, you can't touch him. And to me, with the game with dragons flying around, that's a big bummer. Um, I do like the uniqueness, but for me, it's just, why not? I mean, you're on a dragon. Why not fly and have dragon fights in mid-flight? Or throw fireballs or chasing each other down. Why not? And because of that, I'm giving this game 4.5 stars out of 5.
Well, Dragon's Prophet's a lot of fun. There's a lot of uniqueness there, and I think it's worthy of the amount of stars that it got, which was 4.5. But there's still, I just can't believe that they didn't implement aerial fighting. Maybe it's coming later, but from what I've seen, you can't fight in the air, and to me that's kind of a bummer, because the y-axis for flying on a dragon is kind of, I mean, that's the to-do, right? All right, next up in our next genre is actually what I'm going to call ARTS, or arts, and I'm not going to call it MOBA, which is multi-online battle arena. I'm not going to call it Dota style, because it's a completely different game, and I don't want to have that fight. And if you want to fight it out, I tell you what, you can go to Facebook. There'll be an option so that you can choose if you want arts, MOBA, or Dota style game genre in this series. But for now, we're going to call it ARTS, or arts, and the first game we're going to take a look at is League of Legends.
And straight off the bat, one of the things that stand out most of all for me and most people with League of Legends is the fact that they just have so many different characters, well over 100 different opportunities for you to just be somebody that can just go out there and just decimate, be a support, be a tank. You have so many options out there, and it's the same thing with the item choice that you have within the game, and there's just so much opportunity just to make a completely unique character. You can take an AP character or a ability power character and turn him into an attack damage or a support character. I mean, you necessarily don't want to do that for all of them, but it's a possibility. And it's something that I appreciate about the game, is that they give you that flexibility to change midway through the game if you notice that you don't have a strong AD carry or a strong tank. That being said, however, one of the greatest falls in my opinion, and I'm sure a lot of you will back me up, is that there are almost no maps. The map in this picture is from Failure? I'm not sure how to say that exactly, or if I said it correctly, but this game has been out for several years, and they have Summoner's Rift, Twisted Tree Line, Dominion, and now Failure. And for being out for as long as they only have the 4 maps, unless you count the ice map, which I do not. That's just Summoner's Rift with an ice on it. The big disappointment is you have games like Smite that are still in open beta, and they already have 4 or 5 maps, and the game still is in open beta. Yeah, whereas League of Legends, they just keep pumping out champion after champion after champion, and which I really appreciate. But they're not changing the game in any way. They're just running with what they know and continually doing it. 3 years ago when the first game, was younger and I had just started playing, absolutely, to me this would have been a 5-star game. It's a lot of fun. It's in the arts genre. It has a lot of its own oomph that other games that like such as Dota or Heroes of New Earth don't have. But they have more maps. They have more opportunity to destroy things. Yeah, there's brush that you can hide in, but that only goes so far. And because of the lack of uniqueness, I'm gonna give this game a 3.5 out of 5.
Now, I do enjoy me some League of Legends, but there's just something that's missing in League of Legends. With all the updates that they've done, it's still not my personal favorite arts games to play. And I just feel like there's something lacking, and I'm not sure exactly what it is. And in our final section, we're going to take a look at a space game. And this one's going to be Star Conflict. And I honestly really enjoy this game, so go ahead and check it out.
Space. Large, filled with rocks all over the place. And in games, swirling vortexes and explosions. One of the things I really enjoy about space games is the fact that they just really take it out there and they just run with it, taking things that you know and love like pulse lasers and laser beams and so forth, and just running with it. The thing about Star Conflict, yes, it is a unique game. Yes, it is a lot of fun. The problem is, it's really not that unique whenever you play other games, such as Eve. I know this is a free-to-play game, and Eve online is not. But there's just, explosions, things go boom. Yeah, that's fantastic and it's great. But give me something a little bit different. There's a lot of customization, but it's really not that much. The game is lacking in just opportunity. Some of the people that you get matched up with, and this is one of their bigger problems, is that you get matched up with people that have been playing for a lot longer than you have, and you'll be level 1 or have a brand new ship that you just picked up because you just started yesterday, and you'll get put up with people that have been playing for a few months, and you'll just get torn apart in a handful of minutes. And to me, that's not a lot of fun, and that's one of the reasons why I don't really play it anymore. That being said, there's a lot of replay value in it, as long as you're capable to get past those bittersweet chances of getting blown up over and over again. I would definitely say to check out this game, and for that reason alone, I give it a 3.5 out of 5.
Flying through the air, things go boom, explosions. What's not to like about space games, right? Star Conflict, I think, is really worth checking out, and it's just overall fun. So there you have it for this week's MMO Weekly. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down at the bottom. Also, don't forget to hit thumbs up and subscribe. I do want to once again apologize for last week's video. I know it didn't look the greatest at all, and hopefully this one comes out better. But going forward, I hope that the productions are going to look a lot better than last week's, and they'll come out more consistently, weekly. So this is Kelsedale, and these MMOs are good to go.